Hi everyone, it is time for a new video, and today I'm doing a fantasy romance reading vlog. So I started it a little while ago and I'm finally putting it out there for you to watch, and I'm going to be reading two YA fantasy romances and one adult fantasy romance. And one of the main things that I want to read more of this year is fantasy romance, and I really want to find a lot of them. And I actually started this vlog last year and I finished only one of them now. But it is something I've been wanting to work on for a long time, and I just desperately want to find a lot of books in the genre, and I do want to mainly find adult ones. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know. And this vlog, spoiler alert, did not go as I expected. I hope you still enjoy it, but do let me know if you would like another version of this. I'm gonna shut up in the intro now and we can get straight to the reading vlog, and I hope you enjoy it. I have started the first book, which is 10 by Candace Robinson and Amber R. Duell. So this book is like a retelling of Wizard of Oz, and I don't fully know like what story it's the retelling of, because I saw the reviews and someone was like, I thought it was a retelling of this, but it's a retelling of this. So I don't know, because I don't know Wizard of Oz like at all. I only once saw like a movie and I barely remember that, so I'm sorry about that. It's a fantasy romance obviously, and it's adult. On page 76. So this is only 200 pages long, which I am definitely here for. What happens in this book is it follows Tin and Dorothy, and the two of them met like a while ago and they saved Oz and whatever, and now they get reunited because Tin is supposed to basically get Dorothy to this guy who wants to like kill her. He wants basically to get money for delivering her to be killed. And he has like a heart of stone because of a curse. And so he broke that curse when they knew each other when they were younger, and now he has the heart of stone once again. So he's very cold and, you know, that kind of thing. It's kind of basically like friends to enemies to lovers. I like the dynamic between them. I do think they have chemistry, and it's fun. Like, so far it's super easy to read and it's fun, and like I do want to keep reading, and I'm not like the most invested. I don't think this will be like the best out of this video by any means, but I do think it's fun, and I do think the romance is pretty good. It's nothing like super special. I'm not like super invested. I don't love them like extremely, but I like it. I can't really tell you if it's any kind of good like reimagining, retelling, because once again, I don't know Wizard of Oz well at all. But as a story on its own, it's pretty nice, and it's also kind of like a journey story. It is time for an update. I have officially finished 10, and I have kind of mixed feelings about it. It was really quick to read, and like I mostly, I think, had fun reading it, kind of like, especially the first half. I think I was really excited to see where it goes, and you know, even like my last update, I wasn't like the most excited, but I was kind of enjoying it. And I wouldn't say it went downhill from there, but just overall, I ended up having like really mediocre feelings about this. The romance, when I last talked to you, I think I said that like there is pretty good chemistry and something, and while I think they did have chemistry, it like honestly ended up being really underdeveloped and rushed, and I could believe that they were attracted to each other, especially at the beginning, but then like there wasn't really anything more, and I feel like we didn't even get to know them that well, and everything honestly just felt kind of underdeveloped, sadly. And I also don't think that like the Wizard of Oz is for me either, which is definitely my fault. So, you know, like the vibes, like with all the monsters and all the things happening, the world is just so chaotic, and that is just not my vibe. If you do like that, you know, that would obviously be better for you. And yeah, so it was just kind of for me, and I ended up giving it 3 stars on Goodreads. It honestly could have been less, but again, I read it super quickly, and like there were like I kind of did have fun with it at least a little bit, though near the end I just kind of wanted it to be over already, but it wasn't horrible.
It just wasn't really great. However, I do think that it was like decent enough that I will read the second book because it's kind of like a second chance romance, and I'm really excited to see that in a fantasy setting, even though it's still Oz. But you know, so I do think I'm gonna read that, especially also because there's such a huge difference in the rating. So for this book, it's something like 3.7, and for that book, it's like at least 4.2 something. So that makes me think, it could be better. So that is that. I think we can only go up from here. And the thing that was good about it is it did get me super excited for all the other fantasy romances, and just it was a reminder that I absolutely love this genre, and while I struggle with fantasy, I really want to read more fantasy romances. I want to find good ones. And this wasn't good, really. But we're on the right track. It is time for an update. I have finally started the next book that I'm going to be reading, which is The Raven and the Dove by Caitlin Davis. I am in the car. I'm sorry if the lighting is kind of trash, but I just love filming in the car. But I'm going to make this update really quick because I haven't really gotten that far into the book anyways. This is a retelling of Tristan and Isolde, and it's about Lyanna and Rafe. Current thoughts are I really like this. It's almost 500 pages, so I'm a little bit scared that it's either going to be too slow or there's going to be a lot of plot that I don't care about, but so far I really like the plot. It's really engaging, and I think I'm really going to like the main characters. And so there's another guy, so I'm going to put the book down. I am just really excited because I'm definitely feeling like I'm gonna like this way more than 10. So with that, I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna catch up with you when I read some more of the book. So it is time for an update. It's the next day, and I've been reading The Raven and the Dove. I'm at exactly 300 pages. Before I get into any new thoughts, I just want to describe the synopsis a little bit better, or to describe it at all, because I basically didn't. So what I did mention is that this is like a reimagining of Tristan and Isolde, which I feel like I know the story, but I don't remember it. It's like it's in the depths of my mind and I can't reach it. So the plot is basically that Lyanna slash Anna, she is a princess and she is supposed to take part in this in a courtship trial because she's a princess and she has a duty to marry like another prince or whatever. And so before that, she wants to go on like a last adventure, and during that she runs into this person who is hurt and bleeding out and dying, which is Rafe. And there's basically like the two of them are from two different kinds of people. Lyanna is one of the doves and Rafe is one of the ravens. I still don't fully understand the exact magic and the way that works, but yes, there's a dynamic there, slightly. I wouldn't say there's exactly a rivalry, but there's some shit going on. And so, on top of that, Rafe is also supposed to take the place of his brother in the courtship trials, because the brother, Lysander slash Xander, he doesn't want to take part in the courtship trials. And the thing that I feel like is probably not great is that the reason why is because Xander has a disability. He feels really self-conscious about that, and I don't know if that representation isn't kind of weird and even harmful. I can't really speak to that, and I looked through the reviews of this book and I didn't see anyone mentioning it, and I don't know if I should tell you more about the plot. So I think I'm going to leave it at that for now. And so when it comes to my thoughts and the way that I'm feeling about this book, it's definitely engaging, it's fun, I really like the characters, and it's going by quite quickly, but I do feel like not that much has actually happened, and I've read 300 pages, which could already be a solid full-length book, and there has been a lot of stuff happening, and it's not exactly slow-paced, but I just feel like there's probably not anything that's that interesting happening, and I just want it's the thing that I didn't realize that is that this is a 4-book series, and it's not standalone. So the romance and everything takes place across all the 4 books. So it's probably gonna be a slow burn romance, you know, obviously, like, it's not gonna come together in the first book, but still, I want more content with the romance, because so far, we haven't gotten anything. There were moments of, like, you know, like, they had a connection and an attraction and whatever, but I just don't really feel that connected or invested in it, because there's just not enough content, and I am spoiled by actual romance books with the content that they can offer, and I want the same in fantasy. So this is not going to be it when it comes to that. Hopefully there's going to be some good stuff later on in this book and then in the series. I do so far like it enough that I think I want to keep going with the series. I know that the second book is available on audio on Scribd, so I think I'm just going to listen to that after this. I do like this more than 10. I do like it a lot more than 10, and I also quite like the vibes in here, and the magic is cool, and there is like a romantic vibe to it, to the romance and the book in general, so I do like that. I don't know how to explain it, but yes, there are also 4 points of view, and I don't love that. I do kind of wish we just got the two main characters. I do think that this could be good for people who don't like when books are super focused on romances and you like a lot of plot to your fantasy romances. This is just basically a fantasy book with a little bit of romance. So it's still the same day, and I just finished The Raven and the Dove by Caitlin Davis. I feel like I've said mostly everything already. I didn't love this book. I didn't hate it. This was definitely better than 10. And honestly, looking back, I think 10 was like a 2-star for me. I was like, it might even be a 2.5, but the reason why, like, I didn't realize, because I don't often dislike books. Like, I feel like the way that I select books to read and all of that is really, really good. And so it doesn't happen to me often that I don't like books a lot to the point that it's a 2-star. Like, you know, like a 3-star that happens sometimes, but any lower than that, it's very rare, which I'm definitely lucky to say, obviously. But then I just feel bad and so weird. And I'm like, am I sure? But yes, so I'm kind of feeling like this is like a 3-star, maybe like a 3.25. Not bad. Like a 3-star for me isn't that like I hate it, you know? It's kind of like average. And so this book is just an average experience. I enjoyed it, like I said. Like, it was really engaging, and I flew through it even though it's quite long. It's basically 500 pages. I do think it should have been shorter. There was a lot happening, but at the same time, I feel like it just could have been done a little bit better. Some things were definitely dragged on and just like kind of unnecessary. With the romance, there was a little bit that happened after I talked to you, but not a lot, which obviously I kind of need to like remember that this is in a series, which I haven't read a romance within a series in a really long time, and I'm so not used to it like not happening in one book. I did like it enough that I really want to read the next books, and I'm actually really excited to see where it goes, so that says a lot, you know? Like, I am invested in the main characters. If you are looking for a lot of romance, you're not gonna find it in here, but again, part of a series, hopefully it's gonna pick up, so I can't obviously know that right now. If you like action-packed things and just magic and all of that, I would recommend it. There's nothing shocking in this book. It's not something like super unique that happens, but I did like the magic and like all the things that happened. It wasn't like the most unique or interesting, but it was fun. And so, yeah, I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to shut up about this book now, and I'm going to catch up with you when I start the next one. So it is time to read the next book. It's actually been a while. I have different hair now, even though it's still a similar length, so it's not that visible. I mean, there's a lot of videos that I've been working on for a long time that I need to finish. I've just been really struggling to keep up with everything. The book that I've been reading is A Dance with the Fae Prince, by Elise Kova, and this is actually a book that I wasn't going to include in here because when I started this video, it wasn't out yet. I couldn't read it, but this book arrived last week and I am super excited for it. This book is basically inspired by Cinderella and Eros and Psyche, and it is the sequel to Deal with the Elf King. I really enjoyed that book a lot. I might have even given it 5 stars. If not 5, then it was like 4.5. I just enjoyed it really a lot. That one was actually inspired by Hades and Persephone and Beauty and the Beast. And it was just such a fun, quick fantasy romance. I really liked the couple. The magic was really cool and really nice, and so I highly recommend you check that one out as well. And so now I'm reading this one, and I'm so happy that I can have the paperback because it's so beautiful. The actual plot of this is that our main character, Katria, basically has an arranged marriage just with this rich man living somewhere in a mansion, and it's basically the like Cinderella inspired part is that she has a really shitty family and they are kind of going broke, and so it's just basically for money. And so Katria has to marry this man she's never met, and she starts living in this mansion, and he tells her all of these like different rules that she can't go outside because it's dangerous, and she needs to mainly stay in her room and never come out during the night. And he also tells her that she can't look at him, which I thought that was so like it was so fun, and I was loving that so much. And I'm still enjoying this book a lot, definitely the most out of the books that I've read so far. But if I have one complaint, it's that at least so far, that whole thing has like disappeared. It like I don't want to get into details too much, but it did happen quite early on, and it's just basically like hasn't been addressed at all and even like explained. The beginning is set a lot at the mansion. I do love books that are set at like one place in a house like that. And then it kind of turns into a journey story. I am definitely super invested in the romance. I do feel like Davian, I'm pretty sure that's his name, right? He like I really liked him at the beginning, and right now he's definitely acting like a bit of an asshole. But I do think that, he like obviously has some issues and a lot of pressure and things he's dealing with and whatever, and I do think that like I'm definitely gonna like him much more hopefully soon. And it's nothing horrible, it's just like I want the romance to develop, and the vibes have changed, and I was preferring the vibes before, but like obviously there's gonna be development. Overall, the feeling is just I am enjoying it a lot. I want to keep reading it. I didn't even say that I'm on page 127, so I'm not even halfway through yet, but yes, I'll see. But I'm gonna talk to you soon. I finally finished A Dance with the Fae Prince by Elise Kova, and I unfortunately have really mixed feelings. So I feel like this vlog is like definitely did not go as planned. I actually like very originally I even had slightly other books planned, so I'm gonna read some of those another time, and hopefully hopefully I'm gonna have more luck with those. But yeah, I'm not used to not loving books, and so it's really weird, but I hope it doesn't like fully at least ruin the vlog. But yeah, it's not that I hated this book. But let's get into what didn't work for me and like what did work for me. But unfortunately, I am really sad and kind of disappointed by this one. I felt like I was reading the beginning of the book and I was loving it so much. Like I don't know, I don't think I updated you in between. Maybe, but maybe not. As you saw, like I was so fucking excited for it. I was like loving it so much. The beginning was so quick to get into, and like I was just so excited. It had so much potential. But then it just became super slow. Like it dragged so much, and for so long I literally was struggling to get through it, and it was just like the pacing was so slow, and it's just like it kind of switches to like a journey story.
And I do think that my preference is definitely like the books that are kind of like in one setting, which is obviously like a personal preference, but like the first book in the series did have that more than this. So this does have a journey and like a lot of things like that. And there was like a group of characters introduced, and I just felt like I didn't know them at all, and I didn't know how to feel about them, and it was super weird. Sorry if my voice is super weird. There's something like happening. But like I did end up giving it 3 stars, which isn't a bad rating for me. But it's not great either. So like this like near the end, after like the terrible middle that was super slow, I was starting to like really like the characters again, and I was starting to get invested in the side characters, but I just feel like the side characters weren't developed enough for me, and there were just parts of the book that frustrated me, and it just was not fully it for me, clearly. And I'm so sad. So I do still think that a lot of people would like this. That's how this went. And like, you know, I just really expected it to be that like one sitting, super addicting kind of read, which is the first book for me, and that just did not really happen here. And I also had this whole thought ingrained in my head that this series is adult, but it's kind of like that, like it's kind of technically YA, but it's just that kind of like they're adults, but like young adults, and it's kind of like new adult basically, and there's like a tiny sprinkle of what you could call smut, but there's nothing explicit at all. Yeah, and I do love the magic in here. And like I was invested in the romance, even though I had some issues with it. And there were still definitely like some parts that I enjoyed. I feel like I only said the bad things, but I enjoyed it, and I'm still super excited for the next book in this series, and I really hope that that one is going to be my favorite so far, but we'll see. Not gonna give up, but didn't fully love this. So with that, we're gonna wrap the video here. I don't feel fully good about it, but at the same time I do want to post it because hopefully someone is still gonna enjoy it at least a little bit. And please tell me what your favorite fantasy romances are, and like I would love to read especially adult ones, but like anything works as long as the romance is a really strong component of the story. If you made it this far in the video, leave a sword emoji down below, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye!